Hello, everyone. My name is Bryan Lin. I am a graduate student ready to teach Year 7 mathematics in New South Wales. This presentation outlines my classroom management plan for a diverse 26 student class in a government school using a positive behavior for learning framework. The class also consists of four named students requiring different levels of support: Amara, Zara, Ethan, and Bryan. This plan aims to support both learning and well being by constructing a multi tiered support system. This plan is built around prevention by various measures to consistently monitor the classroom and communicate with families. The class requires support at universal, targeted, and individualized tier levels. At tier ones, guiding all students with universal support, including clear transitions and consistent behavior expectations, will be sufficient, as most of them respond well to consistent routines. This helps to create a stable environment for myself to provide targeted and individualized support to named students. At Tier 2, Ethan and Ryan requires targeted behavior and well-being support. Ethan needs restorative, private, and structured support after a cyberbullying incident, whereas Ryan needs proactive support because of his level disruption can escalate when he feels embarrassed. These needs align with the assessment scenarios requirement to address the all three tiers. Now, at Tier 3, Amara and Zara will require IEP guided adjustments. Amara requires physical adjustments, including accessible seating, clear movement space, and task adjustments. She is academically capable, so the management issue is to ensure the environment does not exclude her. Zara has anxiety and selective mutism. This means that she may be unable to speak in group or hold class interactions. Therefore, she needs predictable transitions and nonverbal participation options. These adjustments align with the Disability Discrimination Act 1992 of the school's responsibility to prevent courses that will exclude participation of disabled learners. This year's 7 mathematics lessons focuses on using variables to represent everyday values. The lesson will be managed through a clear structure that reduces uncertainty and supports student engagement. The lesson will begin with a settled entry routine where students enter, collect material, and view lesson plan on the board. This matches Wong's emphasis on setting up the classroom routine for easier management. The main body of the lesson will implement the gradual release of responsibility model to reduce the cognitive load of students. This model, by Fisher and Frey, will break the sessions into four parts, being teacher modeling, guided practice, structured group work, and independent work. Teacher modeling involves the teacher demonstrating the task in short and clear steps. Guided practice involves the class being guided with teacher support. Structured group work and independent work involve the student actively applying the task with clear expectations with occasional teacher guidance. Throughout these phases, I will give instructions in concise language with visual aid to help the student to understand the task and behavioral expectations. Transitions will be signaled with a countdown, and a clear statement of what students need to do next will also be provided for them to know the next step. These classroom communication methods support Conan's idea of momentum, as smooth transitions and active monitoring reduce the chance of off-task behavior by keeping the momentum. Aside from clear transitions, student progress will be monitored by circulating and checking written work. This lesson design therefore serves a purpose beyond a teaching sequence as a classroom management tool for the teacher. My inclusive practice will apply multi-tier support system across all three tiers. At Tier 1, all students will be guided with predictable routines, visual instructions, and clear expectations. This is provided alongside calm teacher communication. These universal supports help the student to understand the behavioral expectations and class activities. Further targeted and individual support will also be provided to named students. At Tier 2, students will be provided with additional monitoring to address their specific needs. Ethan will be supported through structured group roles, positive interactions with the teacher, and private check-ins. These supported mechanisms help to encourage engagement to prevent escalation. Whereas Ryan will be supported through movement opportunities, private redirection, and specific praise. These mechanisms will help to monitor and encourage his participation in class activities. Such ways of confronting Ryan will also efficiently prevent escalation. For Tier 3 students, Omara and Zara, they will receive targeted IEP to match NCCD framework and associated level of adjustment. Omara will receive individualized adjustments to ensure her participation isn't being affected by her limited movement. She will receive accessible seating, clear movement space, and digital materials coupled with occasional extra task time. This will allow her to be treated as a capable member of the classroom by enabling her participation in class activities. For Zara, I will avoid public speaking activities and provide alternative ways to participate, such as writing responses or one on one check ins. I will also give warning before transitions, as unexpected changes can increase her anxiety. This allows Zara to make contribution in a comfortable learning environment. Apart from applying necessary support, I will review these mechanisms by continuous observation on student response and make corresponding adjustments where necessary for future success. Positive behavior will be developed through active engagement, clear behavior expectations, and respectful communication, taking inspiration from the New South Wales Positive Behavior Support Framework. These principles will be applied throughout the lesson. At the beginning of the lesson, I will explicitly communicate the behavioral expectations to set boundaries for students. Marzano emphasized the importance to set behavioral boundaries and its benefits in classroom management. When experiencing confronting behavior, I will use respectful language and private correction to maintain learner dignity while addressing inappropriate behavior. This is specifically important for Ryan and Ethan, as public confrontation may escalate Ryan's behavior and cause Ethan to withdraw or become defensive. Apart from class communication, I will also conduct differentiated communication with parents and carers. Amar's parents will receive fortnightly updates about her participation and access to adjustments. This will help them understand the learning progress and social environment of Amara in a timely manner. I will also share evidence of Zara's written or quiet participation with Zara's parents every month. This will reassure them that Zara's silence is not being misinterpreted and that her learning is being recognized through character methods. For Ethan's parents, I'll provide consistent updates to both households to ensure communication is consistent with both families. The updates will include Ethan's classroom engagement, participation, and progress with restorative behavior agreements. This allows both families to clearly understand Ethan's current learning experience and mental well being. For Ryan's mother, I will use the homeschool communication book to provide brief and specific updates about his behavior and the positive engagement he performs during structured tasks. These measures assure the parent that Ryan's reentry agreement is in good progress. My proactive approach is based on preventing disruption before it escalates. Before any partner or group work, I will clearly communicate academic and behavioral expectations so that they can understand the task and participate efficiently. This aligns with Lunenberg's view that clear expectations improve performance by directing the effort towards specific goals. This helps all students, but especially Ryan, as ambiguous tasks and public corrections can trigger off-task behavior or escalation. If Ryan begins distracting other students, I will first use a quiet reminder rather than public confrontation. This preserves his dignity while addressing the behavior early. If he responds positively, I will give him specific praise so he knows exactly what appropriate behaviors to repeat. This supports the positive behavior approach as it awards appropriate behavior, rather than only reacting to inappropriate behavior. For Ethan, I will not openly identify his incident. I will educate responsible communication as a whole class discussion, including how to disagree and respond to peers respectfully. If Ethan becomes defensive, I will speak to him privately and use restorative language, focus on rebuilding trust and making safer choices. This aligns with the school's positive behavior learning expectations and avoids turning behavior support into shame. Rogers' relational discipline supports this approach because correction should, prevent, should preserve student dignity while maintaining clear boundaries. One point where my strategy may not work is during structured partner activity. Ryan may be frustrated if he finds a task difficult. In such instances, He might distract classmates or refuse to continue. My planned response will be to provide private misdirection, redirection, but it may also be insufficient if he's already embarrassed or lost emotional control. In that moment, I would avoid public confrontation as it would lead to further escalation. In that moment, I would offer a limited choice. He can either take a short movement break before getting back into task, or he can complete a reduced version of independently before rejoining his partner. Rogers' relational discipline supports this strategy because calm private redirection can reduce escalation while preserving student dignity. This is especially useful for Ryan because he responds well to private redirection and may escalate if confronted publicly. Giving him a short movement break or a reduced task redirects his frustration and helps him calm down without lowering the learning expectation. Such reset for Ryan shows adaptive professionalism as it changes the approach without compromising the learning expectation. After the lesson, I will record what happened and reflect on the effectiveness of the alternative method. This will be used in conjunction with Ryan's daily check-in progress to reinforce the successful strategy. If the behavior continues, I will consult the well-being team and decide whether his re-entry behavior agreement needs adjustment. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you, everyone.